Hello everyone, I'm Keen947, aka Wolfkeen, and here is my first impressions on the new Equestria Girls movie, Rainbow Rocks. Now, don't worry guys, I will be keeping the spoilers to a bare minimal. I won't be, exposing main plot devices and stuff like that, but I will be exposing certain elements that I need to talk about. So, Rainbow Rocks, Equestria Girls, Rainbow Rocks, what do I think of it? They've improved a lot considering the first movie. Like, the first movie was... You could debate whether it was good or whether it was bad. This one, I'm hard-pressed to find someone who hates this unless they hate musicals or they didn't like the musical tone that was in this movie. Me, as everyone knows, especially from my, collab review with Pokebrony, I don't like musicals. I've never been a fan of musicals. So, this one being a musical movie, it was interesting to see what they would do, and... Let me be honest, guys. The music in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. I loved every bit of it. Like, all of the musical songs that they had in there. Hell, even from some of the minor bands that were playing. Like, the concept of this is that the school is basically doing, like, this big, band thing where, bands are going against each other. And then, the two final bands will go against each other, yada, yada, yada. So... I loved all the music in this movie. Like, all the music in this was absolutely amazing, and I just really don't have much to say on the music. I gushed over it. I gushed over the music, especially from the 3 new antagonists from the movie, which I don't remember their names, unfortunately. I have to watch it again, but they were really good antagonists. I mean, the thing is that you had, they kind of had, like, this, what's that trope where, like, one is serious, the other one's kind of, sarcastic, and the other one's clueless? I don't know what that trope is, but that's what the 3 villains were like, where, like, the main leader, I forgot her name, but she basically is, like, the serious one. Then you have another one who's supposed to be, like, sarcastic and other stuff like that, almost, And then you have the final one who's completely clueless, which... I love her. I love the one who's completely clueless. Her, I just loved it because she was so funny. Like, just listening to her be completely an idiot. It's like a lighter version of Pinkie Pie in many cases. I just found it funny. I love the villain's motives in this movie, which I will not explain because I don't want to spoil it. But, the villain's motives is actually pretty interesting, and the reason why they're in this universe actually does make sense in many cases, if you really think about it. I really can't say much. I really don't want to spoil the main concepts of the movie because I really feel like people should go watch it. So this is why this video is going to be shorter than normal. I just want to give my first impressions on the movie. The main villain, or villains in this case, I really do like. The music in this movie was really good. I'm going to admit that. I like the role Sunset Shimmer played in this. Because remember, at the end of Equestria Girls 1, Sunset, she's, Twilight told her to seek out friendship with the Humane Five. And she's trying, but she's having a lot of hard times because everybody in the school remembers what Sunset did, and they're not willing to forgive her. Even though the Humane Five have forgiven her, they still sometimes drop lines on her, kind of like, dropping a line of what Sunset did in the past, and all she can really just say is, after they say, no offense, she can only say, like, none taken. That's really all she could do. She's trying her best to, better her image, while at the same time having to deal with the vindictiveness that she's developed with herself. I kind of like this role that Sunset's in. Kind of like, a redemption role in many cases. I won't go no further than that. And there really isn't much else to say. I mean, they used a lot of the background characters from the main show itself. They used Vinyl, they used Trixie, they used Derpy, they used a lot of the background characters in the Battle of the Bands, as it's known as. And I found it to be amazingly cool in many cases, because I wish I could say this, guys, but Vinyl Scratch is the best character in that movie. She's the best background character in that movie, and I really, really wish I could spoil it, because I really want to, but I don't want to at the same time. Just, when you get to the climax of the movie, you will understand why I say this. You will understand fully why I say this. Just get to the climax of the movie and you'll understand. I swear to God, the climax is... I'm just going to say it this way. The climax of the movie is like that final music battle in Scott Pilgrim. I don't remember, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the Scott Pilgrim movie. That's what it is. It's like that music battle at the end, like, because there is a music battle. What else? It's a musical thing, so why not? It's like Scott Pilgrim in many cases. And I'm not going to spoil, you know, like, I just want you to, like, imagine that for a second. Otherwise, the story flow was a lot better in this movie. The story flowed a lot better in this movie. The characters were really good in many aspects. I mean, there really isn't a lot I could say at the moment because I've only seen the movie once. I do want to rewatch it and try to come back with a more analytical kind of review, but I'm going to hold that off until after I'm doing my Season 4 vlogs. But I wanted to give my first impressions here, and as you can see, I thoroughly enjoyed Rainbow Rocks. I think this is, right now, in my top 3 favorite things associated to My Little Pony. Number 1, of course, being Fallout Equestria, and I would put a coin in there, but I don't have any quarters at the moment. Wrong! So anyways, like I said, this is right now in my top 3, being number 2, associated with My Little Pony. Number 1 being Fallout Equestria. This is a huge step up. This isn't even a step up. This is a jump up. Because I really feel like they improved a lot of the problems that the first Equestria Girls had. They had the romantic subplot, but it wasn't as driven in as, you know, before. And the story was very focused and driven, which is what it should have been in the first movie. So, there really isn't much else for me to say at this point besides, I highly recommend this movie. Go check it out. If you're a fan of My Little Pony, check this movie out. If you don't want to see it in theaters, then I'd highly recommend buying it on Blu-ray and DVD when it comes out, because that's what I'm going to do. When this comes out on Blu-ray DVD, I'm buying it, because I really feel like Megan McCarthy and them really did fix it. Yeah, Megan McCarthy wrote it, so she wrote villains again! She wrote villains good again! Megan McCarthy is doing it! She's breaking her weakness! Okay, let me stop. Not much else for me to say, guys. Check this movie out. I highly recommend it. I don't do that normally, so that's all I can really say. Alright, guys. Hopefully you got the idea across of how I feel about this movie, and I will do a proper vlog review of it after my Season 4 vlogs, but I gotta do Season 3 first, so guys, until next time, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, guys, take care.